Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to hold the default on train specifically, and then going into like how to IGL on basically every map, like just a little golden rule for every map. And and I'll just give you the golden rule now. It's all about misdirection. So now I'll actually get into that. So holding a default on train when like it's a 5-man team, or even if you have like 3 people in a queue together, it's pretty easy, but nobody really knows how to do it. Usually you have 2 people go Ivy, whether one of those people go back to help T-Con or both of those people push through Ivy. That's up to you to decide. 1 person holding T-Con passively, and then 2 people taking ladder and B control. Now off of this, I'll get into the misdirection kind of stuff, because that's basically what you need to keep in mind when taking control of all of these map positions. It's when you're IGLing, a very, very easy thing to do to make your T sides a lot better is hold back information from the CTs or confuse them, okay? Now think about if you're on the CT side and you're playing a map like Train, where it's kind of difficult to get information unless you take some map control, whether you take T-Con, ladder, or Ivy, or even push into lower B. You need some sort of information, and you're not going to get that unless you push. Now, because I'm completely suffocated from information, I do not have anything, completely removed if I don't push in. If somebody throws a smoke lower from the T side, let's say they throw that down, alright, I might have to rotate over here, because you're probably only playing 1 person B on gun round, maybe 2, but if you have 2 people there, they're going to be watching that, and they may have to use some util to counter that, or they use a molly there, they might smoke off upper, but they're focused on that. But that smoke, that's just 1 smoke. Maybe you throw a flash out too, so it seems like an execute. You can get them to use so much utility. Same thing goes for A. If you throw 2 smokes towards A, let's say you throw a right side bomb and a sandwich, that's most likely an execute in 80% of the situations where you get those kind of smokes down. So A people are going to use their flashes, they're going to throw mollies back red or something, alright, they're going to be holding the Olaf push, alright, they're going to be very nervous because of these smokes. Now, on a map like Train and a map like Overpass, where these, and I'd even say Inferno, where there's very quick rotates for Ts, for example, here's B site, and then it takes me all of 5 seconds to go down ladder onto A site. Alright, that's a very quick rotate. Same thing goes for Overpass going down connector, and same thing goes for Inferno running down banana up mid. It takes a little bit longer on Inferno, but the same concept applies. Alright, you as a T can sit right here with bomb. I think right here is the in-between point. Alright, sit right here with bomb, alright, and you can throw a fake B, you can throw a fake A through the windows here, okay? And depending on the information that you get, you can decide where to go. You throw something out B, let's say you flash out, sorry classic, I'm going to throw your flash for you and expose it to the world. Uh-oh, I did it wrong. Uh-oh, there we go. Okay, look at that banger. Look at that banger. So whether you want to do that and you start going out B, you have 1 guy go out, or they molly it a lot, and maybe 1 guy dies, or you just say cancel, 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 you guys can quickly then go down A and then execute A. And they have CTs rotated over to B, and now you might be thinking, well, the CT rotate spot isn't that long. It's just C. You can go from B to A site in half the time that it takes a T to go. But the problem is CTs are very cement-footed, alright? They don't want to move too often. When a CT rotates, what makes a CT rotate is when it really seems like an execute. And even for the CT anchor to rotate, you have to see bomb. So it's not likely that a CT is really going to rotate that fast, or right as a smoke's thrown, they're not going to be it might be a fake, and then run back over to A. They're going to wait until they can confirm that nothing's there. Especially at lower levels, it's going to take 2 to 3 times the amount of time for them to actually clear that and realize, hey, we should probably be going back towards A. And by that time, the Ts are going to be out. So now, how do you hold a default with all that in mind? Ivy people, they have to be prepared to either go right side, split A, or left side and wrap B. T-con guy needs to know. Well, he has to stay back T-con. I'll get into that in a second. But he has to either know if he needs to throw a smoke on A or a smoke on B. Okay? So you got yourself a sandwich smoke and then a B side Z smoke. He needs to know what's going on. Same with these ladder people. They need to know, are we going to go B? Are we going to pinch B here with the Ivy guys? Are we going to have the Ivy guys come back and do this? Are we going to have the Ivy guys come back into T-con and then we go down ladder after throwing our utility out B? What are we going to do? So everybody really has to be on the same page. Now, I said this earlier in the video. You can do this with like a 3Q, 2Q, and that's where that will apply. This is where that will apply. Jeez Louise. I'm going to go over how to take control of each spot on the map. So we'll start off with Ivy control, okay? Very simple flash for Ivy control. You walk up to this line or you run up to this line and you aim right here at the sign. And this flash is going to blind anybody who's pushing Ivy. Because one thing you need to know about Ivy control is by the time you get to about here, let's say, CTs can push out and like flash out and start to take Ivy control. If you have two people Ivy, no smoke down, you're probably going to have one guy go like this, jump across, bait out a shot, while the second guy gets up on here and takes that, or stays down low and takes the fight like that, because it's most likely an opper there if they don't have a smoke down. If they do have a smoke down, it's probably a rifler, and in that case you can boost a guy up here, and then you yourself can walk through the smoke and hold right here since you both are in line. One thing you don't want to do is be on this side if you have a guy boosted, because the guy can come right here, kill you, and then fall off, and you can't get a trade. If you're right there, the guy would have to swing all the way out here to kill you, and then your teammate would get the trade. So that's simple enough for that. One thing I've noted for like throwing a right side, like back green smoke, is you want to really chuck this as deep as possible so the smoke goes as deep as possible. If you don't chuck it as deep as possible, but you kind of throw it off the wall here, let me speed that smoke up. You kind of just throw it off the wall here, it's going to land here and it's going to take up most of this room with the smoke. You don't want to do that, especially if they throw a molly. It completely like ruins your visibility and you can't really run through it. For the left side smoke, you kind of just want to wing it and hopefully there's no gaps. And like sometimes you'll get lucky, there's no gaps, but other times, you know, there may be a gap. So that's about it for Ivy. Again, you have to be on the same page. Are you splitting out? Are you going back lane? What are you going to do? For T-con, all right, like I said earlier, you're going to want to play back. The reason for this, I changed my crosshair. Reason for this is because they're most likely going to molly into T-con right at the start of the round when they're coming out. Okay, they might nade into it. Let me throw that molly again so I can show you guys how to actually throw it. Okay. Something like that, okay? They might nade into T-con. Did I not buy a nade? Here we go. Something like this, okay? And that's going to do a lot of damage to anybody that's in T-con. And if you're solo, alright, there's a good chance that they might come up and take T-con control. So for example, a play like this, alright? You molly off T-con, you smoke off ladder. Look, that smoke. Oh, perfect ladder smoke, right? And you can flash into T-con. Maybe throw a better flash that doesn't bounce like that. What the hell happened there? I don't know. But something like this, or you can even pop flash like that kind of thing. Alright. And then you have two people pushing into T-con, or they can molly you off deep and then push in. You get the point. Alright, it's not a good idea to be in T-con alone. You want to hold for that push. You want to get the info that, hey, they could be in T-con. Now, if they are in T-con, you can either call to your Ivy guys, hey, let me pull a guy over here, we can retake T-con, or you can just say, hey, I'm going to go Ivy, or I'm going to go B, and we'll pinch B together. Now, ladder folk, alright, there's a couple things that they need to do. One, they need to get immediate top ladder control, and somewhat hold for the B push. Now, they don't have to hold it like this, they don't have to hold it like this, because the B guy isn't going to get too much info if he's just sitting like right here. Okay, all he knows is that nobody's here and nobody's here. Now, he could call B clear, and that would be probably a bad call, just because anybody could be top ladder. So a good spot to really hold that push is back here. It's going to completely catch him off guard, or you can even bait it out a little bit more and hold a tighter angle. Then when taking ladder control, okay, what I like to do is if I've made no noise and I hear some guy in ladder, okay, before I go for mollies, I'm just going to chuck a nade down there, and that nade's going to go all the way deep, and that's probably going to tag him down to 40 HP. Now the reason for this, instead of just going for the mollies, is that if I do throw the mollies, it may not 100% kill him. But now that he is half HP, 60 HP, something like that, there's a much greater chance that those mollies are going to kill him. So let's see these mollies. I totally didn't have to cut the video because I missed the molly 80 times. But the first molly is very fidgety, and so you're going to line up right into the center of this. Let me show you guys. So it's this guy, all right? You line up right into the center of this guy, and you see this kind of like dot right up here. It's kind of hard to see with the YouTube quality. I suggest that you try this one out in a practice server. And then you get to about here, and you throw it, and that's going to perfectly molly off ladder. It's going to go into here. And along with that molly, so let's rethrow that molly real quick, and then we can throw this guy. That's going to go down in there, and that's going to completely molly off ladder. And whoever's in there who you tagged with the nade is going to be dead. Okay. Once you get that ladder control, you can completely molly it out. Maybe drop a guy down there after the mollies have gone away, and you can just hold here. You can also have both guys come up here and take B. When peeking upper, all right, my opinion on this would be like have one guy close and have him crouch in nice and slow, and have the other guy far, and he swings out wide nice and fast. Okay, this is a good way to double peek. Same thing goes for this. Have the upper guy swing out first, very wide. Let me actually do that properly. So he swings out wide here, and have the lower guy swing very short and try to take that fight. Just, peeking together, make it difficult for the guy to hit his shot. If you're bottom right here, and you see some guy swing out, you're going to have to adjust, and then this guy comes and peeks you, and then you have to readjust. It's difficult. So that's my guess on that, or my opinion on that, rather. So that's about it. So train, all about misdirection. Overpass, all about misdirection. Mirage, not so much, just because Mirage is a lot more difficult due to the longer rotates. It's a much bigger map. Dust 2 kinda can, you can apply this method to it if you do like a B split or up cat, but you need some sort of cat and lower tons control. I'm thinking about other maps. Vertigo, I guess, just because it's a tiny ass map. Nuke, not so much. I mean, maybe if you do outside smokes, you have people going outside. Maybe they go down secret. Maybe they pinch to A. It's the same kind of concept for every single map. Just something to keep in mind if you're a new IGL. I have no idea what I'm going to title this video because I go over like 18 million different things. And yes, I'm going to start uploading more. Don't worry. I've had a lot of people go, hey, HF, hope you're doing well, hope you're safe, because I haven't been posting videos lately. I'm safe. I'm perfectly fine. The worst thing that's happened to me is one of my lamps, the bulb went out, and I have to special order. Actually, I have the bulb right here. It fucking cracked like 2 days after I got it. Stupid bulb. Yeah, that's all I got going on for me in my life right now. Yeah, I'm a loser. I know. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.